Black is black. Hello from the hole. Yeah, I thought I'd wait for it to get started and see if anybody came on, and I'll try to be on for at least an hour. Just checking in on everybody, seeing how everybody's doing. It's crazy out there. Prices are up. A lot of people are living with their parents. It doesn't seem like there's an end in sight, does it? It seems like it's just going to keep going. I mean, it's kind of the theme for this live. You guys think, just, how, if, I mean, is it ever going to end? I mean, it just seems endless. It's like, it's not going to change. It's just going to get worse. And what's going to have to happen to make it better? Because there's a lot of suicides and all kinds of crap. It's going to happen. If it continues like this, I mean, it's not going to, how long can, just throughout history, there's been so many instances where people have had to suffer because of, insecurities and just people just scamming and swindling each other. It's all a hoax, and it's just set up for you to fail, it seems. So, just kind of, I don't see anybody watching now. You can guys comment later afterwards. And it's like, what do you guys think are going to change things, if anything's ever going to change? 'Cause it just seems like everything's based off of paper. Everything's based off of people just fucking each other over. And just, how is that ever going to thrive? I see two people are watching. Well, it seems like there's no end in sight done that guy's done it. Here it is, middle of May 2025. It seems like nothing's ever going to change. Summer's almost here. Haven't done a live in a while, so I just go ahead and throw out this 98th live, two more lives, and I'll have my 100th live. And another month, I'll be on YouTube, my channel, for a whole year. Yay, whatever. I usually do my lives at night. I'm doing one here in the morning. I got to sing something here. Oh yeah, there goes my fucking alarm. I got a thing here in about at 12:30. I'm gonna go to. It's not as far as where I worked last. I'll check it out. But it's hard to get work. It's hard to get out of your parents' house. Where I used to live, it was like $700 a month, so that's reasonable. It's still $300 more than when I first moved in. Oh look, we got 7 people watching. Hi guys, how you doing this morning? It's what is it, Thursday? Yeah. So it's almost the weekend, but not quite. It's almost summer, but not quite. School will be let out in about a week. Doesn't seem like there's any end in sight, guys. It seems like it just keeps on going. I didn't see anybody else with videos this morning. I thought I don't have to leave here until like another couple hours. So let's go ahead and do try to make an hour live. Zekesaurus says hi. Yo, how's it going? Yo. I even go to church over there. It's real close. It's a nice little place they're renovating. It's just the only reason I go is for atmosphere. I believe we're all consciousness, and I believe we all create our reality, and free will is the reason why people misusing their free will, right? That's what it all comes down to. Man and woman have sex, you're here, you got to deal with it, and you got to be regulated. You got to basically be a slave to a piece of paper, and if you like what you're doing, then good for you, but that can also cause stress. Stress can come from anywhere, because you like it so much, you want to keep it. You know what I mean? I don't know when I'm going to be doing my next live. This is my 98th serious live. I've done more lives than that. I've actually already done more than 100 lives, but I just, this is my 98th serious live. Anyway, that's kind of the theme of this, live is this, there's no end in sight. It just seems like it's just going on and on. Nothing ever seems to change. Nothing ever seems to get any better. These politicians, Donald Trump has been in, what is it? Here it is, middle of May. 4 months, and all these tariffs and all these whatever signs agreements. Every time you flip on the news, like, oh, we're making these deals and whatever. It's just, I don't see any prices going down. I see everything just as expensive as it was when Biden was president, and the last 5 years have been hell. The pandemic, scandemic. Here it is, like 5 years later. At least nobody's wearing masks anymore. Nobody's bottled up in their houses anymore, but at the same time, it's still going on in a sense because there's people living with their parents at like 30, some people even 40. I'm like 43. I'm living with my father. My mother ain't around. I couldn't see her for Mother's Day. It's not like I haven't had any money. I've had money. It's just you lose it all because you're trying to cope with this reality. I like to have a drink responsibly, beer and wine. That's about I blow all my stuff on that and go in the hotel and trying to relax. And it's just, you go fill out these applications, and then it's like, okay, we'll get back to you, or they say that they're going to look at it, and then they never call, or just, and then you go talk to them, and it's like, we might talk about it, or, it's just running you around. And it's like, give me a job, give me something I actually like, give me something that pays well. I mean, I hear a lot of these guys talking on about $20 an hour is not high enough. Well, for someone who has a family, yeah, but with all this inflation and everything, and as expensive as living places is, someone like me who just wants a nice cheap place to himself that doesn't have no family, I mean, it's fine, because I just want the bare necessities. I just want to have a nice drink when I want it, responsibly, of course. Want to have gas for the car and pay the bills. It's simple life. I just, some people, I can't stop you from having kids, but these people that have families, they need to have a job where it's like 40, 50, maybe even some people, who knows? I've heard of these jobs where they make like, all these corporations, they're like making like thousands every day. I don't know. I hadn't looked at it. None of my business, because I don't do that stuff. Oh my God, I lost all my viewers. There's one. And it's early in the morning. I usually do my lives late at night, but I'm just doing it in the morning this time. I had a good night's sleep, and I'm waiting for people to call me. And I gotta go to this place in about an hour and a half or whatever. This live will probably be over after about an hour or so. I'm gonna try to make it at least an hour. Let's just do it. It's been a while since I made a live, and let's just get it. This is my 98th Serious Live. The theme of this live is there just doesn't seem to be any end in sight. We keep going down the tunnel of life or whatever, and it doesn't seem like anything, there's no light on the other side, right? Hopefully you guys can hear me, because the last thing I did was the sound was all fucked up and the wind was blowing and whatever. Sometimes that's just not a good connection. I play the live back later, and it's just, I do all that on the phone. I ought to get one of those selfie sticks and whatever and do it like that, but I just never get around to it, and it's expensive. I do all my stuff on my phone. Back in the day when my channel was first starting up, and I just called myself What Up, and then I changed it to Black Hole over there. And I did everything on the computer, but now I can get on my phone, and sometimes the connection isn't that good. I don't like to show my face. I just put a little Kleenex over the fucking camera, sit in front of the computer, and then once you get 50 subscribers, you can do stuff on your phone. But at the same time, you gotta, everything's internet. That's another topic. Internet, you can get swindled on the internet. It's convenient, sure, but you can get swindled really easily. So what are we at? About 10 minutes? Okay. Anybody wants to come on, say hi, and say something? I've already touched on this, what the topic of this live is. My fucking alarm is going to be going off throughout the live, every 10 minutes, because I hadn't turned it off yet. And I've already been awake for 2 hours. Okay, anyway. I know a lot of people are at work. I know a lot of people are just fucking having to deal with this crazy life, and I don't have time to listen to lives from YouTubers, and I get that, I understand. Whatever. I could just leave it running blank, and you guys could just leave comments for the whole thing, and I could just, I've done that before. Anyway, guys, anybody wants to come on and give me something to talk about, how they think this life is endless, and how they think that, anything that's never going to change. Like I said, hopefully you guys can hear me, because I play it back sometimes, and it's all scratchy and fucked up and doesn't sound good, Even with my language, it doesn't. Anyway, I'm going to try to make this live an hour, and then I got to get out of here. I got other things I need to do. About an hour. Let's make a nice hour-long live here, whatever. Anybody wants to come on and say hi? Anybody wants to talk about how they think that, what the hell can we do to change all this? How is anything ever going to change? Is anything ever going to change? Is any end in sight? Is it going to come to war? Are we going to have fucking World War III? Is Donald Trump, he's already been shot at once, and at the same time it runs through your mind, was that real, or was it staged? They just make it look like he got shot in the air, Nobody will ever really know, but it sure looked real, because it's just, especially when you got those other two people getting killed, right? Well, were they were they really killed, or did they just escape overseas somewhere? And they were going to leave the country anyway and make it seem like they're dead, or I don't know, guys. I'm going a little crazy here. But at the same time, all this stuff about, Biden being president and the overridden the votes or whatever kind of makes you, it's just all this stuff, the Illuminati and everything. If you guys checked out the Big Club, Prison Calls Live Seconds channel, goes into depth talking about the cube yesterday and, the black cube. This is interesting stuff. If anybody doesn't know about that channel, I want you to go to the Big Club, because the Prison Called Life has made the second channel. And I'll just go ahead and recommend all these guys I regularly listen to. Life Was Over 896, Meaningless Cycles, Steve Brown, Thought Provoker. There's so many of them. Anybody who's just now finding out about all these YouTube channels, I recommend all these channels. Prison Called Live, I just mentioned that. Gotta go on the thing and look at it, and then it's like, I can't believe I forgot them. I forget. There's so many of them. Anyway, whatever. I'm just gonna let it run, and anybody wants to come on and say something, and that's why I do this stuff. Talk to me and talk to you. Hopefully be some help. Drinking this coffee here and wake up. Good way to wake up. Let's face the world, get some caffeine in or whatever. How many other YouTubers are there? There's so many. I'm trying to think of other people. I always think of them real easily, and I just forget them. And it's like, yeah, that's right. I listen to that guy all the time. How could I forget to mention him? Of course, Pointless Rat Race has been gone for over a year, and he has that other channel that hadn't posted on 8 months. I think the guy just wants to be left the hell alone. He made that clear in that video of his, and that's fine. I'm just glad he's all right, because he said in that one video, one of the first videos I ever listened to when I was first starting to listen to this stuff and realizing that life really was a hoax. It doesn't have to be this way. Life could be better. It's just I hate people. That was one of the first videos I ever listened to. And let's see. That was in November of 2024, I think, or 23. December, January, February, March, April, May. About 7 months later, I started this channel. So now we almost got 1,000 videos. Not really, if you find something that you're good with, fine, but most of the time it's about surviving. And it doesn't seem like there's going to be any end to it, and not at least in my lifetime or anytime soon. Anyway, whatever. Okay, I'm gonna take a little break. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I'm back. As I was doing my business, if you know what I mean. Boredom. There's a lot to do with it. People are just bored with this society. And there's not enough people to just rise up against it and do anything. It just remains the same way it's always been. Because if anything messes with the system, then we're just going to have chaos. So the chaos is already happening. It's just under the behind the curtain, under the surface, just like iceberg. It's like 80% of it is below the surface. It seems like you gotta be was gonna say you gotta be a swindler. You gotta be somebody that is just, and it's just, they won't help you if you don't have the insurance sales. They won't help you. They won't help you if you don't have what I'm trying to say. They won't help you if you don't, just the people, kind of the police coming after the innocents while the real criminals get away with stuff. Really, that's why I've had people coming in and bother me at the hotel before. It's like, buddy, and it's like, oh, you're a nude, buddy. What did I do? I just sat. All I did was sit on the side of the swimming pool, with my hands up on my, with my back in the back of the pool, and I just, with my hands up on the. They thought I was supposed to nude, and the next thing I know, that I'm in the spot, right, and they're like, yeah, the spot. And I was like, what? I didn't do anything. And it's like, oh, and then you go up to the room, police come, and they force me out of my hotel room. It's like, I pay good money. I'm just trying to relax. They're going out, they're, stuff like that. When you're not even doing much of anything. Well, the real people, they get away with stuff. That's fucked up. And what really is stupid is how you can't let these things bother you because you still got to wake up the next day and deal with more stuff. I mean, what the fuck? Okay, what are we at? 20 minutes? Let's try to do this another 40 minutes and then I gotta go. Anybody wants to come on and say hi? I've had like 20, 30 people on my lives before. I see some of these lives I get on, there's like only 4 or 5 people. They're just, people got other things to do, I understand. Everything is definitely regulated in this world, and I don't see any in the sight. I don't see how anything's ever going to change. I don't care who's president. These so-called elites are always going to be there. They're always going to be controlling everything behind the scenes, and no one. It's like, oh, it's not real. Those people don't really exist. Mafia doesn't even really exist. There most certainly is a mafia, and there most certainly is an Illuminati. It's real as fuck. It's just as real as politics. They're just the people that they control those people to say what they want them to say. And they make the movies, and they make sure they make the right songs and music and games, and they're controlling society. They want everybody to think a certain way, and there's just no end inside, I hope you guys can hear me because I've had lives where the sound's all messed up. So whatever. I don't know, maybe that's why nobody's watching. I get it, like I said, I get on lives and there's nobody really watching, and it's just, I get that. People got things to do. You can always listen later, when it's uploaded or whatever. And then you can give your comments and suggestions. The topic, most of the time I just do a live with stick a number on it and don't have no definite topic. But this one is all about just there's no end in sight. And there's probably never will be an end in sight. It just seems like it just keeps going on forever. And there's just no end to it. We just keep crawling down these holes and rabbit holes, and there's no wonderland at the end. I just keep falling for everything. Yeah. Okay, whatever. Whatever, guys. I'll go ahead and do a nice hour-long live for you guys, and then I gotta get out of here. I don't know if I'm gonna be yapping the whole time. I might just leave it running for a little bit, see if anybody shows up. Then it's like I'm gonna take a break for like 10 minutes, come back. You listen to the live later, you can come back at 30 minutes, because that's when I'll start yapping again. Because I don't know if I want to yap like for a whole another 40 minutes. You know what I mean? Yeah, this live will be about an hour. Hey, come on, guys. Anybody want to come on and say hi? I've already had one guy, Zeke Torres, came on and say hi. Anybody else? Is that all I'm getting for this one? Because I'm not going to stand here yapping for 40 more minutes, guys. I'm going to take a break and tell you when I'm going to... Then you can fast forward to the live or where I say, and then I'll... Yeah, because I don't want to do... I'm not going to stand here yapping for 40 minutes about this. I'm just not going to do it. It's not that I don't love you guys or anything, but I'm just... if nobody's going to show up, I'm going to take a break and come back in like 10 minutes, So yeah, I'm gonna stop yapping, and then you can come back at 30 minutes. 30 minutes, I'll come back. So yeah, well, I see somebody there. You just made it. I was just about to put the phone down. Want to say hi or whatever? Okay, okay. I'm gonna go away for about 7 minutes. I'll be back when it says 30 minutes. All right. Saw that somebody was watching there. I know it's not 30 minutes yet. I saw that somebody was watching for a second there. It hadn't been 30 minutes. It's not at 30 minutes yet. By hell with it, I'm gonna go ahead and start. I'm here. I'm not really saying nothing yet, but I'm here. As if, yeah, and they want to laugh at it. They want to laugh at us, right? I don't want to say anything that you guys probably won't hear it later because I said 30 minutes and it hadn't been 30 minutes yet. I gotta wait another 80 seconds. But what I could do is just say the same thing for 80 seconds. Yeah, they make fun of us. Anybody who's lucky enough to hear this, because a lot of people aren't going to hear this. They make fun of us. They make fun of us. They just want to make fun of us. We know what's going on, and they just want to make fun of us. We're the high-spirited ones, and they just want to make fun of us. We can't get no satisfaction. We can't get no satisfaction. Thought Provoker, back in the day, Thought Provoker would always sing, rock your body with Backstreet Boys, all right. And my thing is like, I can't get no satisfaction. That's what I sing. He never, Thought Provoker, he just doesn't do lives anymore. He used to be really good about a year ago, and I don't know what's going on with that guy. He's wonderful. I mean, I mentioned him earlier. Okay, I'm gonna start talking again, guys. It's been 30 minutes. I see somebody's there. I said I'd be back at 30 minutes, and it hadn't been 30 minutes yet. Okay, bingo. It's 30 minutes. Okay, we can get going again. I took a little break there. Anyway, guys, the theme of this live is there's no end in sight. It doesn't seem like anything's ever gonna change. We wake up. It's the same thing. Nothing ever gets better. We just get worse. We wake up. It's the same crap over and over again. Blah blah blah. We're about halfway through the live now. This shouldn't be much more than an hour. A little rainy today. It's been really sunny, but the weather's probably gonna get really crazy. I keep seeing people popping on and off. I don't know who you guys are. Want to say hi? You're more than welcome. I don't want to force you out of the tunnel if anything. This is a crazy world, and it doesn't seem to get any better, guys. We're all just trying to make sure that nothing ever fucking sometimes if people are there people are watching live, but it may not show up. Anyway, let's get on to the topic. It seems like there's nothing that's ever going to change, and we're all just regulating ourselves, and it just nothing ever seems to get better. You go to these therapists and everything. Do they really help, or are they just robbing you blind? You sit in a chair, and it's like every time I go to the therapist, or you sit in a sofa or whatever. Tell me about this. Tell me about that. What's your favorite show or this or that? Yeah. I like to watch Sesame Street. I like to watch killer shows. I mean, I like to watch anything that catches my fancy, and that's supposed to help you. But you're supposed to make the discoveries. Yeah, I'm discovering what I've always known all along. How is that going to help me? The only thing that can really help anybody is this piece of paper that we print out every created and we give value to. The only thing that can really help is just helping each other. Period. But people got this ego that everything's got to be difficult in order to be worthwhile, and that's the devil, that's demons, that's Satan working there. That's a crappy society, and it's just where's the end? The end goal is to just die. Death is what awaits all of us at the end, no matter what. So there's no end in sight because nobody knows when the fuck they're gonna die, because death is the only end. Fucking crap, you take a crap out of your ass and that fucking end, fucking passes right through you, and then you gotta eat some more, right? The only end in sight is death, because we're all gonna die. Man and woman have sex, we're here, and then we work as a slave until we die. That's the end. The end, and what after that, who knows? We get a bonus story beyond this life, right? No, it's just maybe where you go to sleep at night, or I don't know, the fucking mind shuts off. What's beyond the mind? We're not our thoughts and emotions. Well, there's got to be something spiritual beyond all this. There's people creating things, Bible or whatever, to control people. and there's no end to it because there's not enough people to rise above it, their consciousness or whatever. It's like, this is fucked up, and we don't want to live like this. And then they get locked away for speaking their minds. So what the fuck? It's a prison. And if you can't handle the regular prison, then they're going to give you an even bigger prison. They're going to lock you in a fucking jail cell, prison hole for the rest of your life because you couldn't handle the regular prison. Sound about right? I haven't done a live in like 2 weeks, and maybe it might even be 3 weeks now. I don't know. I don't give a fuck. I just want to be happy. But how do you do that? It's just every time you're interested in something, it seems like, there's only a few people that seem to actually get what they want. And everybody else has to pretty much suffer. All because a man and woman had to have sex. Now you got to deal. You're stuck with paying bills. You're stuck with having to be a slave. You're stuck with having to wake up and go to work every day. I don't know. The reason why I'm not getting many viewers during the live might have to be because the sound is off. I don't know. I'll have to play back later and listen to it. Maybe I should do it more outside. Sometimes it just shuts off in the middle of it. I don't know what's going on. If you guys can't hear me, I apologize. I've done lives without a problem before. So anyway, yeah, guys, we're all living with our parents, and most people are being forced to live with their parents. Most people are being forced to do things that they don't want to do. And there's just really nothing ever gets any better. The politicians or whatever, Donald Trump, whoever. I can remember back in 2017 to 20 or whatever, when Trump was president the first time, because that's only happened once before with Grover Cleveland. I've done the presidents. I know all the presidents in the states. I learned them all. But that's only happened. A president was a president, and they came back 4 years later. That's only happened one time before. So it seemed like things were better back then, and the pandemic hit, and just make everybody think everything's going well for a while, and then boom, hit them, and everybody's wearing masks and fucking having to stay away from each other, and fuck, man, it's shutting the economy down. It's no different than a fucking flu, guys. It's just another thing. It's just another sickness. Things are always throughout history. There's always been, we got the Depression, we got the Hebrews being slaves, we got all this stuff that's happened throughout history. People are always overcoming stuff. I keep seeing people coming on and coming off again. I hope you guys can hear me. It might have something to do with the sound. I still need another 25 minutes for this. I want it to be a whole hour at least. Anyway, whatever, guys. I don't know what to tell you other than what I've already said a million times. There's not enough people to rise above it. They're standing around with their picket signs while they look out the window with their cigars and smoke and fucking drinking, and they're like, oh, look, they actually think they're going to have a say against us. There's nothing ever going to change. Because the more you do that, the more they get a good laugh and keep things the way they are. And lock you up if you don't like it. The only escape is death. The only escape is fucking death. And that's just ludicrous. That's fucked up. And it's just and yet people keep bringing people here. Hey, what the fuck? Oh wait, you already did fuck. No, you did it the right way. There's two kinds of fuck: backwards and frontwards. There's all the frontwards is what gives you babies. The backwards is just being nasty. But it's still putting your dick in a hole, right? Oh, I shouldn't say things like that. Now I'm going to have my channel removed because I shouldn't. We all know how the world is. We all know how things really work. But if you say anything, it's just like on YouTube. If you say a bad word in the comments, then they're like, oh, you can't leave comments. You can't. If you keep leaving comments like this, then we're going to have to shut you down. But if you say in the video, there's that, ignorance is bliss. That's, his channel is down for some reason. Of course, Drunken Donkey, his channel's down. I don't know, maybe because of it being too real, or maybe it was them just deleting their channel. It's just B. Stevie or Steve Brown. He didn't want to do anything else this week, and he went ahead and did it anyway, and that's fine. Back 8 months ago, he was wanting to leave, and I kind of, I even went so far as calling him a loser and everything. It's like, and he didn't like it, and then I apologized. I just didn't want to lose him because he's such a good YouTuber. But at the same time, you got to show respect because people still want to do what they want to do. Anyway, it's kind of off topic. There's no one in the side because you do something wrong, and then you might have it good for a while, and then just things still go wrong again later. You're still gonna have to. There's always a constant balance to everything. Everything's always being regulated. Everything's, you know, you got to watch out all the time. You always got to be on the lookout because the moment you let your guard down, that's when it fucking happens to hit you in the face. And then you got to spend all that time or whatever. All we have is the here and now, and we got to fix it. And it's like we get that fixed, here comes another problem. We get that one fixed, here comes another problem. That problem is going to cause this. That problem is going to cause that. I keep seeing people coming on and off. I mean, who are you guys? Are you guys? Is there anyone there? Is anybody watching? I can't tell. Whatever. You guys can listen later. I just hope you guys can hear me. Okay, what are we at? 39 minutes. Okay, let's go for another 20 minutes or so, and then I gotta go. We are living in a crazy world, guys, that is based off of paper, consumption, deception, deceiving. People just like to swindle each other. People like to make sure that nothing ever really happens. So maybe it has something to do with the algorithm here, why I keep seeing this on my viewing or whatever. People are just swindling each other. People are just robbing each other. People's souls go crazy, and they just do things drastic because they're after that paper. Because it's all transactional. There's no helping. You got to go to church in order to feel good about yourself. You got to go to a hotel to relax. Why can't all of life be like that? It's just, I've said it many times. Why can't we have one guy come in one day and another guy come in another day? Why is it got to be one person doing a whole 5 or 6 day work week? Why has it got to be that way? Why do parents got to be all in your face? Like, oh, you brought me here, man. I didn't ask for this crap. Nobody, does anybody remember asking to be born? Raise your hand. I don't remember it. We're just here. We got to make the best of it somehow. We can't get upset. We can't show our emotions. We can't let things bother us. Things are going to bother us, guys. We're only human. We're having a temporary experience. We're actually perfect conscious beings, right? Because if we're not, that would mean everything just comes from nothing. Everything has to come from something. What does it say in that movie? From nothing can come the greatest something. What does that mean? What is nothing? Even nothing is just something. Cause you can't have, even nothing itself would have to be something. So there's no beginning, there's no end. Everything just is, right? So why would there be a need to be an end in sight when everything is all about free will and consciousness, and we create a reality, and we're creating a crappy reality because it's corruption. Nobody resonating with each other, nobody helping each other, nobody being there for each other. You act like you love somebody, but you really don't because it's about that paper that you create. It's fucked up. It's psychotic. I'm gonna take another break. I'll be back at about 43 minutes. Right now, the thing on my live says 41 minutes. I'll be back in 2 minutes. 43 minutes. I'll be back. I see somebody's watching there. I'll be back. I'm taking a break. I'm not gonna say anything until 43 minutes. I know you're there. I see you. I'm kind of taking breaks periodically out live. I don't want to say anything because you guys listen to it later. It's like, okay, he shut up for a minute and he come back at this time. That's kind of what I'm doing here. It's a nice morning live for you guys. I'm doing for you today on this the 15th of May, 2025. Yeah, I'll mention you here again here. Sandip Shah says hi. I'll say it again here in about 20 seconds. I just want to make sure I don't say anything until a certain time goes by so everybody hears everything, because sometimes I'm taking a break throughout this live. Another 10 seconds here. Oh, you're welcome. Okay, 43 minutes. Okay, so Sandip, Shah says hi and thanks. Yeah, that's nice. So anyway, guys, here I am back again at 43 minutes as promised. We're talking about how there's no end in sight. I've already been yapping about it for about 38 minutes already. What the hell do you think is going to happen in this crazy world? Do you think that anything is ever going to change? How in the hell do you think it's going to change? Why in the hell are you bringing kids into a world where nothing ever seems to get better? I know I got one guy there watching. I mean, if you're still there. Yeah, I see you there. It's showing. What do you think? What do you think? Do you think anything's ever going to change, and how do you think it's going to change? What are your thoughts on that, Sandip? Because you're the only one watching my live right now, I think. There ain't nobody else here but you, as far as I know. I don't think anything's ever going to change. I think that the only way out is death. I think that the only way that we're going to ever escape this madness is to just leave this plane. And that's why there's no point in bringing people here in the first place. Because it just seems to me like we're just procreating to create more slaves. Yeah, said hi. But anyway, what's the point of bringing a child here if there's not going to be anybody other than just, I hope the sound's all right. Tell me if the sound's all right. Sometimes I play it back and I don't hear. What is the point of bringing a child here if it's just going to be about slavery and just waiting to die? Because most people, you go to school and you learn all this stuff, right? And you forget a lot of it. And you just, all this stuff in the Bible about, it's just regulation and stuff, right? It's just, what is it? We got summer coming on. I just want to chill at the hotel and go to the swimming hole and live it up. And then you got to go back to school again, right? And like in school is getting letting out. College is already out. Sound is great. Thank you. Yeah, I've had those lives where the wind was blowing and there's this fucking, it's just buzzing and everything. You couldn't hear me. It's like, so I'm glad to hear it. But anyway, we got summer coming up and, that's kind of like how life should be, right? Just swimming and playing in games or whatever. They even got all this coping mechanisms we got. And then it says you got to go back to school and learn all this stuff that you're going to forget. And then you go out in the world and it's just, you got to use qualifications. We live in a world where even when you got a B, I almost said beer. When you got a degree, you still can't get a good job. You got people, the rent is so high, you can't barely manage to, back, about 10 years ago, it was easy when I moved out of my parents' house. And I've been living with my parents ever since, maybe it's like 8 months now. Yeah, this is, I think the place where I was living, it's still reasonable, like $700 a month, but you get a degree, you go to college, and then it's just waste all that money. Now you're in debt, and then you just gotta fucking pay all this, your car wears out and you got to start paying for, cars are so expensive. It's getting to the point to where life is just inhabitable on this earth. Because there's just so many people having to be forced to live with their parents. There's so many people having to fucking do stuff that they don't want to do. They want to go to this job. They got to fucking pay, I look on some of these things, there's job postings like $10 an hour. Jesus, fuck, that's not enough. You go to the store, all this crap about eggs being like $10. What the fuck? And it's like Trump's been president for how long? 4 months, and it's still nothing changed. Okay, let me read some comments. Sandip says, it's all about wage slavery. Go to school to teach us to good workers and be obedient. Yeah, damn straight. Sandip Che also says, where are you from? I'm in Oklahoma City. We got the Thunder playing again tonight for this Game 6. They've been struggling against the Nuggets. And just good luck to them because every fucking time I'm watching their games, it's like they're right there at each other's throats. They just barely won the night before last. So on Tuesday night or whatever it was. So if they can win tonight, that'd be amazing because then they'd move forward to the semifinals. And then they might even make it to the finals. But, the Nuggets have been right there at them. So, yeah, there's the Paycom Center, Oklahoma City. It's a wonderful place to be. It's just you got to worry about tornadoes. You got to worry, there ain't no hurricanes. At least with hurricanes, you get a warning. But a tornado, we got a storm shelter. Here, I'll show it to you. Here where I live. See, that's the storm shelter. Here at my house. I'm not going to show you the address or anything. And we get down, my father keeps saying he's going to clean it. And we might have to go down in there. But here it is, the middle of May, and it hadn't been so bad, and tornadoes or anything so far. But now that I said that, knock on wood, there might be some. but they'll suck you away. You can't have hot and cold air. It's been nice over the last few days. I'll show it to you. See, it's just a little cloudy today. It's been really nice. I've been sitting out here in this chair for all through the weekend and everything, just soaking it up because I know it's probably not going to be there. But anyway, Stand Up Chat says I'm from London, UK. Awesome. How's it? It's just I've seen that channel with what's his name? He used to be called the Realist Rantman. Now he's the Wandering Pessimist. He just made a video, and hell, I haven't seen that video yet. I'll probably watch it as soon as I'm done with this live. It's called that's another YouTuber. Don't forget that guy. It's just talking about why I'm single or something. I might watch that video. He's from the UK. As with Thought Provoker, he likes to be called from the kingdom. He don't ever, if you ever listen to the Thought Provoker channel, don't ever call football American football. Don't ever say that it's football. Say that, or no. Don't ever say that soccer. Don't ever say that it's soccer. It's football. That's regular football. Because America, they call it American football, and we call regular football, we call that soccer. Do not ever call it soccer. But anyway, it's just what I was just trying to say. It's just the United Kingdom, they're having problems too, just like anything else. King Charles has been on the throne for what? How long has he been king now? Like just about a month and a half. It's been 2 years. He's been king for 2 whole years now, hadn't he? I can remember him being coronated 2 years ago. Queen Elizabeth, she was like one of the longest running monarchs ever, and it's just crazy. And I don't know who's going to be taking the throne once. Hopefully he'll be king for like at least. And that's another thing. I don't believe in all this separation stuff. I believe that we're all one world and we're all just surviving. We all got our different ways of life, and we need to fucking learn ways to get along. There's no point in all these wars. I have all here I am in America, and I have all the respect in the world for the monarchs and everything. I mean, they're just people. Just respect your fellow man. See ya. Okay, Sandip Shah says, what's his channel called and the video called, please? As far as I know, you can just go on there and it's like, the Wandering Pessimist. The Wandering Pessimist. He used to be called the Realist Rantman. That he had longer hair. It's a little shorter now. You should be able to find him under that. If not, I don't know his actual handle. But yeah, you just go on there and maybe type in, why I'm single or stuff like, you might be able to find him that way. And at 2 years, yeah, he'd been king for 2 years. It's right at 2 years. I remember that. I watched the whole thing early in the morning. That's a lot of fun when you see something like that. Because Queen Elizabeth, she was queen for years and years, like back in the 50s, and it's just everybody knew that you want her to stay alive, but we can't live forever, and we got somebody new on the throne. You got a king for the first time, and that's amazing for like 70 years or whatever. Anyway, I'm American, and I'm supposed to hate the United Kingdom, but I'm not like that. Why would I be on YouTube if I was like that? Why do we get on this YouTube channel? We talk about stuff. But anyway, let's back to the topic. There's no end in sight. The world always seems like it's just trying to get somewhere, and it just every time it tries to get somewhere, it slips back again. There's some war or something. It's like even if we did have a war, a lot of people would have to sacrifice themselves. A lot of people would have to go through hell. Like just we're already going through hell. None of this stuff matters. It could all go away if we would just help each other. Just help each other. It's so simple. But people, the ego, and it's just got this thing that you got to make things work. You got to make things difficult in order to be worthwhile. No. It's like I just wanted, like I was saying a minute ago, just relax, enjoy yourself. Whatever that means. It could mean anything. It could mean having a responsible drink. It could be me going to the swimming pool, going to see a movie, concert, just sitting in your room and kicking back and relaxing. But people got this thing like, oh, you got to pay for all that stuff. You got to be a slave or you're not worthy of that stuff. No, people, the abundance. Plant your own garden. Plant your fucking... it's just all this. It's just slavery. It's dumb. Stand said, do you work from home? No, I do not work from home. I wish I could. It's hard to do those kinds of things because you got to go through, you got to have all that paperwork because everything's about paperwork and that sort of thing. But at the same time, you got to understand that You got to use this, this thing. You go to a job interview, and then you got to come back for a second interview, and then you got to go through all this panel stuff, and just hire me, give me a job. At the same time, you got to go through all that payment stuff. You got to get all the software and everything. So yeah, and I just I'm used to doing something where I fucking I'm sorry, pardon my language. I'm used to doing something where I just am on my feet all day and I'm staying focused and I just do this thing right and I do the next thing. It just motivates me to do the next thing. That's what I'm used to. I've had those people recommend that one of these guys, another YouTuber, what's his name, a Tragic Rally, it might be, I don't know. I may be getting it wrong, of course, there's so many of them. He might have said something about how a security guard, all you got to do is just stand there. They pay you well, unless it's Target. Target would have a more of a, more picky, whatever you want to call it. You got to make sure that you do everything just right. You got to watch all the monitors and everything. At the same time, it's just, security guard be something to look into. I competition in this world. Watch out for what other people want and be the first in line. And every time I've ever had a really good job, I've always been hired right there at the interview. Anyway, what are we up to now? 54 minutes, so we're going to be in a live soon. At least another 5-10 minutes. Anybody want to say any suggestions other than just death? The only way we're ever going to escape this madness is death. Look at all these people living with their parents. And I had another guy say, he's like, oh, you're living with your parents. That's gold, man, because at least you got people to take care of you. Yeah, that's fine and good. That's good and dandy. But at the same time, look at all these people that are suffering unnecessary. And at the same time, it's like, why does everything got to be so high to where you can't even move out of your parents' house? I have nothing against being with my parents, but I'd be more rather than just, coming and visiting them, on my own time. Okay, I got a call here. Let's just, I'll be right back. Okay, guys, as you guys can see, I am kind of a little busy right now, so I will be ending it soon. I gotta see who the heck it was calling me just now. But anyway, like I was saying, just you got the parents, I'd rather just come and visit them on my own time if everything wasn't so expensive. I have nothing against my family. Not everybody has decent family, but I don't, that's like a whole nother topic. But yeah, I have nothing against that. I have nothing, just everybody helping each other and loving each other is the way it should be. But there's so much ignorance. There's so much people that are just out of work, being forced to live with their parents. They can't afford anything. They work their butts off, and it's hard. I think a lot of people are very angry and very upset with the way things are in the world right now. And it shouldn't be that way. We should live in a world where everybody just loves each other, helps each other. We got summer coming, just laugh and swim in the pool, fucking, that kind of thing. This world's all about just being a slave and just, we're all gonna die, man. That's the only end in sight. The only end in sight is fucking death. And we're all gonna leave this place. Why can't we be happy? And why do we gotta wait until we die to be happy? Why do we gotta wait until my life is over so I shut up long enough to be happy? I'm just kidding. Why do we gotta wait for death to be happy? Why can't we just be happy now in our daily lives? Why does everything got to be difficult? You know how it is when you're a little kid and you haven't been conditioned yet. You know all this stuff, right? Think back to when if you can even remember after all the turmoil. And you're back to when you're like 5 years old, yeah. And then you go to school, you got to eventually go to work, and it just breaks you down. And then eventually, at some point, if you're more awake like me, then, because there's a lot of people that just go around, I've heard it said that a lot of people go through life and they're just asleep. And there's only a few of us that are awake, and they live in just total amazement all the time. That's yes and no, because I can see where that's coming from. But at the same time, it's like when you become awake, it's like you start to see how things really are. And it's like, why the world got to be this way? Why do we got to work our butts off? Why do people have to go to war before anything is settled? Why can't we just, love each other and help each other and just be forgiving and whatever? And then it's like, then you'd be coming at me like, oh, well, it's not that easy. Well, why? You always gotta ask why. Why is it not so easy? And it's like, they get real quiet for a second. It's like, well, because that's life. And that's life. That's all you got to say. That's why things can't end and got to be this way, because that's life. Yeah, fuck, man. I'm not. There's no way I'm bringing any kids into a system like that, because they don't want to deal with me watching over them and trying to be and regulating this world, and I don't want to have to deal with them knowing that I brought them in a world of, just ignorance like that. So yeah, guys, we're going to be wrapping the live up here in a second. I don't know what the hell to tell you other than just we're all, we shouldn't have to wait to die for it to end. Why can't we just have fun now? And, the work can still there's always going to be work to do. I'm not saying they're not. But this is why there's got to be just one person doing everything. Why you got to have all these qualifications? Hell, even when you do have qualifications and degrees or whatever, and you got all that depth against you and you still can't get good work. And then your parents are like, why can't you get work? No one will give me anything. And even when you do have something, it's a struggle to keep it. You can't let the stress get to you. And a lot of the time, it's something that you don't want to do. But you got to do it to have that paper, because that's how the system works. And shouldn't be like that. It should be just helping each other. And so many people are just focused on these outer parts and how you look and how you talk and how you. That stuff is irrelevant. Let's focus on who someone truly is and their character and their mindset, and why their mindset is the way it is, and how we can make it better. Okay, guys, I think that's going to do it for Black Hole Live 98. I appreciate everybody who's come on and said anything. I'll be ending the live in about, I don't know. I'll leave it running for a little while longer. I'll let you guys know when it's over. If anybody wants to give any suggestions, I'll leave it open for anybody else. What the hell do you think we need to do other than just die to help each other? I've already mentioned everything. I don't want to ramble any more longer than I have to. See, I'm looking at something popping up on my phone here. Okay, there's so many YouTubers. Who have I not mentioned? There's so many of them. Okay, we reached an hour, so I said the live would be at least an hour. We're there. We made it to an hour, so yeah, we're going to be ending it soon. Give you guys a little bit of time to come on and say hi and mention anything, and then we're going to end it. Anybody have anything to say before I end this motherfucker? I think that's about it for this live. I'll leave it running for another minute. Anybody wants to say anything, fine. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you guys again when the time is right. Black Hole loves y'all, like I always say in all my stuff. And just hang in there, guys. See one person, they keep coming on and coming off. Anybody want to say anything before I end this thing? Gotta end it here in a second, guys. I gotta go here in just a little bit. Just anybody wants to say anything before I end this thing? Okay, I'm gonna leave it running. I'm gonna leave it running for one more minute. And anybody wants to say anything in the comments is more than welcome. And I'll see you guys again later. And yeah, bye-bye. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.